Hidden mysteries, ancient Christian monasteries, holy elders. These are all part of my recent pilgrimage to the great and historic nation of Ethiopia.
We have the living Bible, which means we have celebrations like Palm Sunday, and the way how people go to church, the settlements where they live, and the way they dress.
When I arrived in the ancient city of Aksum, this is the empire where the Ethiopian Eunuch came from, that the Apostle Philip baptized in Acts chapter 8. When I got here, I found out that the next day was a great festival, the Feast of Saint Yerod, we call him Jared, and that the patriarch himself of Ethiopia would be attending. What a privilege. So I got this pic of the patriarch, and it wasn't easy to get. His name is Matthias. That's Saint Jared there. Jared is a 6th century saint who brought music and liturgy to the Ethiopian church. And in this icon you can see that when he presented it to the king was so entranced that he put his spear through Jared's foot, but neither the king noticed nor did Jared notice. And now everyone is leaving to go to another great procession. Where are they headed? To this ancient Roman amphitheater, where the patriarch sat under this great sycamore tree. It reminded me of Abraham sitting under the tree of Mamre in the book of Genesis.
That's why it's better to say Ethiopia is the living Bible. Maybe in other nations in the West, people hear about stories about the Bible as stories. But here in Ethiopia, we live the stories themselves.
Much of the populace here is still very traditional. You have goats and camels and donkeys, and they have the traditional dress, and they have the traditional coffee ceremonies and traditional foods. They are very tribal and clannish. It's right out of the Old Testament. Here's 30 or so priests doing some kind of very interesting dance. More processions with trumpets and drums and crosses and ceremonial umbrellas. And these, I'm told, represent in part the glory cloud of the presence of God in the Old and New Testaments. Next up, visiting a 6th century ancient Christian monastery. And I hope to speak to a holy man there, a scholar, about my project of writing a history of Ethiopia.